Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Private alongside Melissa McFerrin. Big trip coming up to Las Vegas this weekend. We'll talk about that in a moment. But, Coach, let's recap the last two games. And, again, not to rehash, but obviously playing a little bit shorthanded, having some challenges you didn't foresee, kind of some strange lineups. Let's go back to La Tech, hanging around there through the first half. They were able to expose some things, pull away in the second.
They did, and we're not going to be able to control the circumstances that we're under, and so we, as a team, we have to try to make up some differences in depth. We got to try to make up differences in talent in some degrees. When you've got potentially we have three starters that aren't with us right now, and fatigue. So, and the only way I know how to do that is to compete every play. Play harder, do things that are outside of what you normally have to do. And that's the only way that we can manage the stress that we're in right now. So I'm on our kids a lot about rebounding and about sprinting the floor, about taking on things that maybe they're not comfortable taking on. But at this stage of the game, I don't know what else can be impactful. And that's what we have to try to do, is we have to try to be impactful with kids we have, because that's who we have right now. Right now,
and especially the big concern after the trip to La Tech, was maybe getting too reliant on Cheyenne Creighton. Now, that was the first game we saw this year where a couple of your freshman guards and Finesse and Jada kind of got aggressive, kind of stood up, hit some big threes in that game.
They did, and I've really been after Bria Elmore, because she's more than capable. Taylor Barnes, but those two freshmen, they don't know any different. They, if I tell them to go be aggressive offensively, they just go do it. And for the first time, they had to play really extended minutes. Jada Stinson's been playing good minutes, but she had to play extended minutes because we didn't have Elena Davis and Alyssa on those two games. So I thought she looked good. She looked confident. She's still learning our system. She's still, we're still making a lot of system-type mistakes. But at the end of the day, when the ball ended up in their hands at the three-point line, they cocked and fired, and we had a good result that night.
Sometimes it's good to put a true freshman out there before they've really absorbed everything, because they're still kind of that high school mindset where they're pretty fearless.
That's right. They don't. I always say you can't know what you don't know.
Right.
And they don't know what they don't know yet. But in that instance, it's a good thing. And Jada Stinson is continuing to make improvements. That was really Finesse's first time to be on the court, that we needed her to run some things. And we know that from a system perspective, she's still got a long way to go, but we like her energy. We like her attitude toward the game. Jada Stinson's been getting some minutes, and as soon as she smooths out some of those system-type things where she misses a screen or misses this cut or this spacing's bad, then I think we'll begin to see some good things out of her.
SIU, Cheyenne got in some foul trouble. That's really the one player. You don't want anyone in foul trouble, but that's kind of your reliable go-to. Didn't get a lot of minutes, but, boy, Elena came in and stepped up huge.
Absolutely, and I was more pleased with the SIU game just in terms of playing hard, competing, defending. I thought our kids were much better in that regard. Really the thing that hurt us was the first 4 minutes of the second half, and that's where they kind of pulled away. And then, our mainstay, Cheyenne, for us to just get 4 points and 3 rebounds out of her, that's going to be difficult. What we needed was what we got from the other players. We were I think 56 or 58 points. If Cheyenne puts 15 on top of that, then we're right in the game. But Elena Davis did a really nice job. She hasn't seen a lot of time of yet, but the thing that we like about Elena, she has great hands. She's got good mass, and typically when she gets her hands on the ball, she's pretty reliable at sticking it back in the basket, and that's what she did for us. And she played 33 minutes. We've got to get her conditioning better. She knows that. She's been on the sideline with some injuries, so her conditioning is definitely not what it should be. But as she continues to go and improve, we like what Elena's going to bring to our team.
All right, Coach, you head out to Las Vegas for Thanksgiving weekend, big 3-game tournament to play for K out in Vegas at the Mandalay Bay. Going to be a tough tournament for everyone. It's a pretty loaded tournament.
It's a loaded tournament. I've said it since we scheduled it. It's probably the toughest. It's an NCAA tournament. Every team in that bracket has an opportunity. Well, Ohio State's going to, they're trying to get back to the Final Four, which is at Ohio State this year. They've got legitimate opportunities. Legitimate opportunity. They've got. They're just loaded. Of course, we know Stanford's reputation. Florida Gulf Coast is a perennial NCAA tournament team. DePaul, Belmont's good. Kent State's on the other side. and Gonzaga, I think, is the other team. So this is a tournament where you better go with both barrels loaded, because you got to be able to put some points on the board. So anyway, we're going to open up with Ohio State. It's boom, 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 3 games, 3 days. And we're going in obviously shorthanded, but we're going to go in with a mentality that we've got to compete every play.
You can get better in that tournament, win or lose. I remember the tournament we went to down in the Caribbean. I believe it was the Virgin Islands that year. We went Texas A&M, Syracuse, who went to the Final Four that year, then ended up with Texas. You had a young team that year, but they really got better over 3 days.
That year we started 4 sophomores and a freshman. Yeah. And it was death by fire that weekend, but we did compete, and that's we have an opportunity to get better, and that's what I just keep telling our team. We've got to keep getting better and better and better and better. Our young kids have to get better. Our upperclassmen have to get better, while we're waiting for our roster to get a little bit healthier.
All right, Coach, we'll see you out in Vegas.
Thanks, Jeff.
Head Coach Melissa McFerrin, I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.